Today I want to talk to you about why self-improvement feels hard for you. Why, even though you know this is the right thing to do, you know it's going to be good for you in the long run, you know how it works, you know about delayed gratification, but yet you still wake up in the morning, you're like, I don't want to do this. This sucks. Well, here's why. It's because you are relying on willpower in the wrong way. So let me break it down for you. And first off, let me just talk about willpower a little bit. I made this video about motivation, and willpower motivation are very related. So check out that video. I'll probably put it in the description or something. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just have to find it. Who knows? But anyway, willpower. It's like a muscle. You've probably heard the analogy before. Willpower is a muscle, and like muscles, if you use it, it'll get stronger. But the analogy doesn't work quite, exactly parallel. There's definitely some differences. For one, willpower, it definitely, you can run out. This is where the analogy kind of it works, where, you say you start out the day with so much strength, but as you use your muscles, you work out, you get tired, and by the end of the day, you barely have any strength. You can barely crawl into bed. Willpower, you wake up, you have a lot of willpower, and throughout the day of doing things, your brain gets worn down, you get tired, and you have less and less willpower. The difference is, willpower can, while your arms may be tired and can bounce back, your willpower, if you use it too much and rely on it, it will fail you. And once you're at that point and you start, failing in your willpower, if you don't keep it up, like say, if you use your willpower and you achieve your thing, you get positive reinforcement, yeah, that willpower worked, you're going to be stronger. It also works in a negative sense, like, you try to use your willpower and it's not enough, you failed. The next time it's going to be even harder to use that willpower to do the same thing. You're just going to keep going down and down and down. And that's why relying on willpower is not the move. And honestly, it feels like a brute force. It feels really hard. This is what I'm trying to talk about. When you know what you need to do, you need to read your book, you need to stop scrolling, you need to work out, you need to go for that long run, you need to get up and talk to that person, but it still sucks. It still feels terrible. And some things will feel hard. Let's just accept it. Like, your guy, you gotta do things that are against your emotions. Some things will just still feel cold. We're gonna try to make it as easy as possible. And how we're gonna do this is we're still gonna use willpower and motivation. I kind of talk about this motivation video, like I mentioned. But instead of trying to rely on the motivation or the willpower for the everyday decision, what you want to do is use it when you have it. Say, you watch your podcast, or you finish you read this section of the book and you're inspired, you got motivation, you get the willpower. Take that moment, it's, I guess in sales, I talk about this, the moment of highest interest, where they're most committed to it. That's when you sell, when you commit them, because they're already really excited about it. That's when you pitch, that's when you sell. So what you want to do, once you're excited about something, motivated, you have that feeling, when you're pumped up about this new idea, at that moment, that's when you use that willpower to create a plan, a system to fall on, create a floor, not a ceiling, that you can fall on to, where if you just do that, you'll be fine. So you use this motivation, this willpower, and you set up a system. So for me, I just talked to my dad. I have Instagram on my phone. I downloaded it for college stuff, trying to find a college roommate. I never had it until now. It's the only social media I have now. So I downloaded it, and I can understand why so many people are addicted to it. It's literally perfect. They got rid of everything bad. It's just so easy to click onto it, see what your friends are posting, see things you're interested in. It could be good stuff. There's all these things I found on there about running and eating healthy that I'm really interested. But even then, it's good information, but it's hooking me. I don't like that. I'm losing control. So I had a little motivation, and I realized, I don't want to do this. I could be learning some valuable stuff. Maybe it could be, maybe not. But I don't want to just lose my time because of this. So what I do when I have this motivation, instead of just trying to, every day be like, nope, I'm not going to be on my phone, because that'll your willpower will run out. You'll mess up enough times. You'll have moments of weakness. You'll have the long day where you're on the couch. You're like, I'll just look, and boom, hour gone. We've all been there. So when you have this motivation, this willpower, and this is how I want you to use it, you got to do something with it. You got to use that to set up a system. So in the future, you can make it easier on yourself. I think Dan Martell says systems save yourself time, money, energy later, or something like that. Where you pretty much, once you have that willpower, you got to set up a system, boundaries, a floor, where it makes it easier for you. So for me, this is an example. I asked my dad, can you give me or tell me the code for your app times? You can set up a time limit, or block certain things or whatever, so that I can block my phone and not be addicted to it. Like 20-minute timers, once that's up, like I'm not on Instagram for the rest of the day. And just small things like that. That's the whole point of when you have the willpower, the motivation, you got to set that up. So like say, yes, I'm motivated, I'm going to start running. This has been me. Highest peak of interest. So I understand, yeah, I feel good now, but it's not always going to be like that. So what can I do to make it as easy as possible now? Planning now. This is like delayed gratification. You do the hard stuff now, but it doesn't feel that hard now because you have motivation. Do the hard stuff now because you have the motivation, willpower, so it's easier for you later on. So for me, for running, that's setting up my clothes. That's texting a friend like, oh, we're going to go for a run tomorrow, right? That's me buying electrolytes and making my own homemade electrolytes, which I highly recommend. I think I have like a short about me trying it out. I made mistakes of not buying flavoring, but I got it dialed in now. So that's what I mean by using willpower. You're still going to use it to set it up for the moment. And yeah, there will be times where it still takes some willpower, but you want to make it as easy for yourself as possible. And hopefully you can understand why this is so important. Because if you keep working at something and you understand this is right, this is what I want to do, but it's so hard. And that's where a lot of people get a lot of shame and guilt because, I've been there where I know this is what I got to do. This is good for me. But I set myself up for failure. And then I fail and I have pretty much just guilt. Just like, well, I said I was going to do this thing I really wanted to. I just didn't do it because I made it so hard for myself. And because that it talks about this in 7 Habits, you have like your emotional bank account, but you have that with yourself too. You have this with other, like you withdraw, you say something mean, you withdraw from the account if you said that to someone else. If you break a promise to someone else, you withdraw from this emotional bank account. If you haven't read the book, I would recommend it. But you can do that for yourself too, where, you said, I want to do this, I want to start eating healthier, and you didn't set up any systems while you had the willpower. Willpower will leave you. It's kind of like a feeling. Willpower and motivation will leave you. The point is, there's like other things like forget about willpower, only discipline. But what I want you to use is kind of harness the willpower and motivation while you have it, so you can make it easier for yourself. And if you don't do that, and you just have these huge goals and you have motivation, you set these goals, these expectations, but you don't set any standards or systems for yourself, it's so defeating when you try and you're like, man, I had this motivation, but it's gone now. And the morning comes after sleep that may or may not have been so good, and it just becomes really hard. So hopefully in this video you learned how to harness your willpower a little bit more, how to use it in the moment to make it easier for you later when the actual, when the rubber hits the road and, it's time to get going. So you want to just do as much prep as you can beforehand to make it easy for you. So with that, remember, the best is yet to come, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.